Welcome to 1 Hour Reviews. We give games exactly 1 hour to win us over and tell you which ones kept us hooked until the end. Inside is a puzzle platform game developed and published by Playdead, that first released on PC in June of 2016 and later on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. The game uses a very similar art style, game mechanics and approach to storytelling as its spiritual predecessor Limbo, albeit with more use of color. Inside starts without a single button press in a very fluid transition from title screen to gameplay. We take control of a little boy and begin walking through the woods while appreciating the level of detail Playdead put into the aesthetics of the game. With limited yet intelligent use of color, they were able to create a beautifully sinister game world with just the right emphasis on certain elements to get our intuition going. The controls themselves are very simple, but elegant in the way that with only a few commands we get to navigate through elaborate puzzles that never feel repetitive. Although our movement is limited to 2 axes, the surroundings are very much 3-dimensional, and this depth is skillfully used to guide our attention to subtle visual clues. This way, Inside reveals its narrative without any spoken or written exposition, which feels incredibly mysterious and exciting. Completely absorbed and unaware of the time passing, we realize that all of the characteristics we've mentioned before make this game visually interesting and play smooth, but what's really the cause for our undivided attention is the storytelling and the pacing of the gameplay. Puzzles start slow and easy, moving a box in order to gain access to a high wall, for example. Then gradually the difficulty gets ramped up and more complicated elements are added until you really have to start experimenting with the game to find out which rules apply. Do I need to shoot those little chicks out of that grinder looking thing? Won't that kill them? These are just a few of our thoughts while playing, and the game constantly toys with our emotions in a brilliant way, making us feel like we ourselves are part of an experiment as much as the characters we come across. To try and remain objective, even though we obviously are quite fond of this title, we'll mention the only minor issue we could find with the game as a whole. Sometimes the game forces us to flee, from a pack of guard dogs for example, and the solution is, at least in our experience, not immediately visible, leading to some trial and error, causing the inevitable loss of tension in the moment. However, that is really only a tiny sour note in the outstanding symphony of emotions created by this game. Maybe we're a little biased when it comes to indies with a focus on story without any spoken dialogue ever since Journey blew us away a couple of years ago. But there's something magical about the experience when it's done right, and Inside definitely gets it right in our book. Clever storytelling, rich atmosphere, and a gorgeous ambient soundtrack made Inside very difficult for us to put down after only 1 hour.